Hello, loyal fans and subscribers. Ninamori Fanboy here with week number 4 battle in the PBF against Corey, aka owner of the Memphis Magnezones, aka owner of Team Bulk. As you can see, he decided to bring Mega Slowbro, Rhyperior, Meloetta, Umbreon, Chansey, and Rotom-Mow/Cut. And I, of course, brought the team I mentioned in my team building or preparation video. So looking at his team, I had expectations that I might come out on top. It could be a problem. He has a few more, different pokes, I should say. Like, I didn't really expect Rotom or Meloetta, but I felt I was, well enough prepared for them that I could handle them, I guess, with my team. So let's see if I end up doing that. Off to a great start narration-wise. He led with Rotom, and I led with Swampert. I'm like, please don't lead with Rotom, please don't lead with Rotom. Of course he led with Rotom. Because he led with Rotom, I was pretty convinced he wouldn't go for Leaf Storm, so I stayed in and went for Rocks, as he tricks me his Scarf. So now I'm locked into Stealth Rock, so I can't stay in. For that, I expected him to Volt Switch again, so I went out into my Zarathustra to get a Lightning Rod boost, but he goes for Willow, so he might not even have Volt Switch, because he never ends up going for it in this battle. Here he withdraws Rotom. I wasn't sure if he'd go into his Rhyperior or not, so I just went for Volt Switch. If he did bring in Rhyperior, okay. If not, then I get a free Volt Switch. He actually brings in Chansey, which is remarkably great for me because I did click Volt Switch. Get a useless Intimidate off. Now I'm able to Volt Switch on out. And... okay. Go right out into my Gothitelle, who I forgot to nickname. And I trick it my choice specs, which was part of the plan when making this Gothitelle. And it actually goes for Toxic, which is incredible, because this was like exactly as I planned how I could take down this Chansey. It would be locked into Toxic. That way, if it locked itself into Seismic Toss, that would be pretty bad, but fortunately it did lock itself into Toxic. So now I can just let this thing stay in here and kill itself with Toxic. Because I do have Heal Bell on my Gothitelle, and I will go for it, here and there. I only have 8 of them, and he's got like 30 Toxics, but he's going to die in like 3 turns. So, I still don't want to really waste that many Heal Bells in case I need them in the future, because, a bulky team like this could easily Toxic any and all members of my team, so I didn't want to use too many Heal Bells. So I go for Psychic here and there, mainly here. I think this is, in fact, the only time I go for Psychic. There he Toxics again, and I, get whittled down. So he's got one more turn of Poison. Here I do go for the Heal Bell. And he goes for Toxic again, of course. So I'm back to, my first turn of Toxic damage, which only did, I think that was 8 damage. But he will go down right here. I could have, Psychicked and taken it out, but then I would have been turn like 4 of Toxic. Not 4, but like 3 or 2 or something. Higher than 1, so it was fine. Rotom comes in though. I didn't know what it would do. I figured it might trick again, so I stayed in. It actually goes for Leaf Storm, which was okay. So, my Gothitelle took out Chansey, which was kind of what I wanted it to do when I made that Gothitelle. Like, that was actually the perfect scenario. So I was happy with that. Here I send out my Fletchinder expecting him to Volt Switch, but again, he never goes for Volt Switch. Which is why I went for Fly. I would avoid the Volt Switch. Then he would have to switch out to Rhyperior, or, as I was expecting, Mega Slowbro. But he did bring out Rhyperior as I went for fly, so he's able to, you know, take the fly easily, then go for Stone Edge. He said he meant to click Stealth Rock there, which could have changed things potentially, but he did go for Stone Edge and just took out my Fletchender right then and there. Here I send out Swampert. I believe I go for Toxic. Completely forget it. No, I go for Scald. That's right. Because I was like, oh no, Umbreon has Synchronized. If I burn it, I get burnt too, and my Gothitelle is fainted, so I can't use Heal Bell. Fortunately, though, I don't get the burn on Umbreon. And I completely forgot I was Scarfed. So I was considering staying in and Toxicking, but I forgot I was Scarfed, so I couldn't. So I went out to Hitmontop, because, you know, I can threaten it with close combat and stuff. He goes for Toxic, okay. I mean, that's not good or anything. I actually expected maybe a foul play or something. But, what can I do? He Toxic my Hitmontop. Now he withdraws, though, and I believe I do go for Toxic now. Even if he stayed in, I would poison the Umbreon. Since I'm already poisoned, I don't have to worry about Synchronize. He actually switches in his Rhyperior, which I didn't understand at the time, but now I definitely do. After all this residual effects, I'll probably be able to inform you of what happens. So I stay in close combat, expecting to do a lot of damage, and I do. And I figured I could live an Earthquake after my defense drop. However, I did not expect a weakness policy Rhyperior. He goes for the Earthquake, and that will take out my Hitmontop. So down it goes, and his Rhyperior is almost gone now, too, though, so that's fine with me. I send in my Greninja, just get a KO with Scald, or Ice Beam, I mean. So down that goes. I believe now Meloetta comes in. And I'm pretty sure I can 2-hit KO this with Dark Pulse, so I just stay in and try. I looked and it said the main Meloetta could only do like 60% to me with Hyper Voice, so I figured I could stay in. And he does just go for Charge Beam, so it looks like I will be able to 2-hit KO this Meloetta, because nothing tricky happens, so yeah, I do just 2-hit KO it. He said he did have Focus Blast on this Meloetta, which he could have gone for, and that probably would have OHKO'd my Greninja, but he didn't go for it, so that's good for me. Umbreon comes out, though, and I do go for Scald, wanting the burn this time, since my Greninja is almost fainted. And I do get the burn, nice. Yeah, so the synchronized burn on myself won't be too bad. I don't have any physical attacks anyway, so it'll just be residual damage. Now here, I expected him to Moonlight again. Well, the next turn. Again, we gotta wait for all these residual effects. I don't think residual is the correct word for that scenario, but that's the one I'm using. So, because I'm expecting him to Moonlight again, I just go for Spikes. Expecting him to Moonlight, then think I'm going to go for another layer of Spikes, and then, you know, not recover the next turn, so he'll be at about half health. But he actually just straight up goes for Dark Pulse. I didn't even expect Dark Pulse on Umbreon. I figured, if anything, it would have Foul Play, maybe Knockoff, stuff like that. But it just goes for Dark Pulse and takes out my Greninja after I got up that Spike. So now I send out my Swampert. I believe just fire off some Earthquakes. He brings out his Slowbro finally. Take that Rock, take that Spike damage, take this Earthquake hit, and now he's at half health. And since I'm pretty confident he's just going to go for Slack Off, I go into my Mega Manectric, get a useless Intimidate off. But because I'm modest with Thunderbolt, I'm pretty sure I can OHKO this. Unless, he were to Calm Mind, which, if he Calm Minds here, then I'll still KO him, but he ends up slacking off. Which is okay, because, like I said, I'm pretty confident I can OHKO it. Here he withdraws, though, into Rotom, whom I forgot about. Takes that rock damage. Go for T-Bolt. Does hardly anything, really. He recovers a bit more with leftovers that he stole from my Swampert that I still didn't remember at the time. And I go for Flamethrower, and modest Flamethrower is enough to take it out. I was pretty happy about that, because that Rotom could have posed a major threat. However, this Umbreon was also a major threat, because nothing I had could really deal with it. I believe I stay in and go for Thunderbolt just to see how much it would do. That doesn't even look like a 2-hit KO, especially with Moonlights. And I could probably stay in and just go for repeated Thunderbolts, but I believe I do end up going for Volt Switch, which was, in retrospect, a bad play because his Umbreon can't do much to me. It has Toxic, Moonlight, Dark Pulse, and I don't know what else. He goes for Toxic and misses on my Swampert, which, could have meant something. I believe he stays in and goes for Toxic again, though. There's my Earthquake. Oh no, he Moonlights again, okay. I believe now I do just stay in and go for repeated Earthquakes, because I'm pretty sure this is a specially defensive Umbreon, and Earthquake is my best option. At this point, I still forgot I was Scarfed. I'm like, how am I outspeeding this Umbreon? Because I'm a speed negative nature, and I'm like, I couldn't understand how I was outspeeding an Umbreon, but like I said, I completely forgot he tricked me turn 1. So he did go for Toxic, so now it looks like I will be able to OHKO, well not OHKO, but finish it off with another Earthquake. So I go for that Earthquake, and to no one's surprise, I do take out that Umbreon with that little amount of health left. Though I am Toxic, and he does have a free switch into his full health Slowbro. Well, not really full health, because it comes in on rocks and 1 layer of spikes. So that's like a quarter gone already. I go into Zarathustra hoping he'd go for Slack Off, because then I could OHKO. If he went for Calm Mind, that could be a problem. And he does go for that Calm Mind, so this could get a little dangerous. At this point, I'm thinking I might have misplayed. But I do just stay in and go for some Thunderbolts. As you can see, it's still doing a lot. It did like over half, I think. But he's able to slack off right there. And, okay, it looks like he's a little lower than what he was. So I go for T-Bolt again, and he lives with like 1 HP. Goes for slack off again, though, which leaves him with enough health that it looks like another Thunderbolt will take it out. And it does. So, in conclusion, I defeated Team Bulk. So yeah, that was the battle against Team Bulk, aka Memphis Magnezones, aka Corey. That was an incredibly fun battle. The Gothitelle Chansey play was something I was expecting, and when I built my Gothitelle around it out, like, even if I would have lost the battle, just having that play out exactly as I planned it would have been enough to make me happy. But I'm happy with maintaining my perfect record in the PBF, so yeah, thank you all for watching the battle, the whole battle, if you watched the whole thing, and look forward to week 5, I get a bye week, So look forward to week 6, because I forget who I'm battling, but I'll definitely be looking forward to keeping my perfect record. So thank you for watching, and have a good day, guys.